Right, good evening, Litchfield. Guess who's back? For one night only, right? The chair again. Welcome to the May 1st, 2025 Litchfield Conservation Commission meeting. I call this meeting to order at 6:30. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call of members. Joan McKibben.
Joan McKibben, Secretary, present.
Harry.
Harry Manzigian, member.
Fred.
Fred French, member.
Jason Brennan, Vice Chair. I am acting as chair tonight because Matthew Hoffman is out. I think he's seeing less miserables in Boston. It'd be miserable sitting in those tiny seats. George is out, Diana's out, and we'll see about Mr. Croto. Okay, no alternates to appoint, so we're good there. Public input related to non-agenda items. I am looking out at the crowd and nobody is sitting there, so we'll move on from there. First item on the agenda under new business is summer intern. I'll just give you a quick update. Our intern starts on, I think it's May 11th, so within the next week and a half. Matt and I met with the Heritage Commission last week. They are pulling historic information related to the muster field, and I believe the Moores Falls as well. Any information that they have on record, they're gonna pull that information for us. We provided them with a map of the muster field with dots on it showing where the various different sites are on the property, you know, where the foundations were and things like that. And they're gonna try to collect a bunch of information for us.
Okay.
That will help out the intern. Joan, one thing that we have to do up front with the intern is to lay the Conservation Commission or Conservation Lands map on the table. And just make sure that everything, all the properties that we have are inventoried in the NRPC database. I think they are, but I think it would be a good exercise to go through.
Now, once she finishes, is there gonna be some sort of report or
Yep.
something published so that we can?
Yep.
Okay,
So what's gonna end up happening is, the big thing is like the marketing strategy of our lands and documenting what we have and then documenting the history. In the end, we're gonna put together a website that has all the history, just take the muster field, has all the history on the muster field. And we had mentioned before, there's like QR codes and you'll be able to go to a website and see the information. And then we'll have her in and, to maybe do a presentation to us and stuff like
Good.
that. I did put together, and I'll share it at the next meeting, like a work plan for her, Joan, like a top 10 list of things to do. And like number one is confirm the conservation properties that we have. Number two is meet with the Historic and Heritage Commission people to gather the info. A document is gonna be developed, the dots on the map with the 10 spots, and then there's gonna be a document 1 through 10, a page each, say, with the history and photos and things like that. That's a major thing.
okay.
We're gonna try to get signage out of this in the kiosk. We're gonna have the QR codes printed and then like a final report.
Now, number one, when you say, do you want me to meet with her with the map and the conservation lands?
Yep, yeah, and I'll print out a big map or a map that we have that's got, all the conservation properties colored in green. And I think if you could just go over that.
Yeah.
I think that would be good. We do need to like denote which ones are ours and then which ones, some of them are like easement properties.
Yeah,
And I think they just like show up all like dark green on the map, meaning like they're ours, but behind the scenes, we can toggle it whether or not it's an easement, a conservation easement, or we own it outright.
right, because there's one out there that DES owns, but we have Nature Conservancy, and we have an easement on it, so. Good to know.
So could we have a different color on those?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great,
Everything will be like,
because it's confusing even to us.
Or
yeah.
when we get, when it's
Yeah.
finished, yeah.
Good.
Let me just check real quick. I'm gonna run through like the list. I texted her the list. Confirm properties that we own on the map. We'll write 2 sentences on each property with a name and maybe a sentence after it. Because you're gonna be able to go onto the website and see a map of all the town properties, and we would wanna say Moore's Falls, you know, a place to hike or something like that, or,
Along the river.
yep.
So-
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. We'll have little boxes that check, do they have trails? Is it on the river? Is it historic? Is it just for,
Because in the summer, it's gonna be nicer to walk along the river, and that kind of information is key.
the 5th thing was the history of the Musterfield, Moore's Falls, Parker Park. And then we compile all that and then do what we talked about, have a website and stuff. It'll be neat.
Okay, and she is reporting to you and Matt, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay,
Yeah. We'll have her in the June meeting. She only
Right.
lives on Nessenkek.
okay, no, I just wanna,
Well, it would be good to have her meet her,
Um,
so we'll run into her in the field.
all right, old business, fishing derby, spring fishing derby. Actually, I'll take care of everything except for the Let's Go Fishing. We'll put that last, because I think I can rattle through the first bunch in a minute or two. I talked to George, everything green light go on the fishing derby. I've got to get a couple of posts out, social media posts out to advertise it. But he's good with the fish, he's good with the setup. We'll probably have to get down there, Fred, ahead of time and do some cleanup, but
Yeah,
according to George, we're good to go on
I'm
that.
waiting
okay.
for
Now, there
George
was a
on that.
debate last time on whether to put it up on the entrance up at the bridge or down below where we traditionally had it.
Yes.
Where is it?
George had said, as of right now, he wants to try to have everybody park at the community garden and check in at a table in back of the garden so that people can either go across Bridge 1 or Bridge 2.
Okay, all right, no, it
You're
just,
gonna have to have some signage, because people will be thinking they should park at the regular parking lot.
We can do that.
now, this is a silly question and is, okay, we're gonna park at the community garden and we're gonna log people in and stuff. What happens if somebody or bunch of people park over at Parker Park?
That's fine. We'll have people spread out,
Okay,
you know,
All right.
around. And then, George is gonna set up like a group text message. So if someone ended up like catching a fish, you could actually measure it on the site and then just group text message so that people don't have to walk around.
Now, what
Okay.
if gardeners wanna get in there that day?
Excuse me?
What if the garden people wanna get in there that day?
Oh, they'll be fine. We don't,
It's solid enough now that
Yeah.
we've driven it.
Yep.
It's dry.
Okay.
we're gonna have to cut it. It's actually getting long. I'll whip through the other ones beside, the Let's Go Fishing. So Dara Pond, milfoil treatment, George says no update from Arbor Pro yet, but he, submitted or was submitting the application to the state a few weeks ago, which was probably the middle of April. So, green light on that one. We should get more from George next month. DeRocher Farm, I'll go over the ones, I'm jumping around a little bit. The DeRocher Farm property, I sent out an email.
Yeah.
I logged a work order with the whole detailed list. The long and the short is the DeRocher's lawyer now has the deed. I talked to the DeRochers today. They are getting the deed from the lawyer, and hopefully we're going to work through this in a quick fashion. I will say that the legal folks on both sides of the fence are not very responsive, so we're just gonna keep poking, and then go from there.
We have to. Did you get any idea on an extension from LCHIP?
I emailed Paula from the LCHIP program, she's the director of the LCHIP program today, and I should hear back from her tomorrow on that. I submitted an extension online. The grant program for LCHIP, everything is done online, and it's like very easy to navigate. And I submitted it, I can see that it was submitted, and she said she'll get back to me tomorrow on it. I think we'll be good.
Okay, good.
Community garden, Matt had a couple of updates on that. I think, Joan, maybe you know a little bit more?
Just that people are getting started and they're finding their plots in the correct places. And,
And I guess George went in, I don't know, Fred, did you help him cut down some
No,
trees?
Matt did that.
Pardon?
Matt cut a couple trees for the
Yeah, to
shed.
move the shed?
Yeah.
Yep. And Matt also staked out where new plots are gonna go.
oh,
Yeah.
good.
Right.
And I'm gonna message Corey from the Pink House to see if he'll till them up for us.
Any news on moving the shed? Anybody go to the selectmen or anything? Or,
It's still sitting over there.
right, I know, but the selectmen have to be informed?
Matt went to the Board of Selectmen and got approval to move the
Oh,
shed.
oh, good, okay.
And the stipulation was that highway actually had to move it.
Yeah,
We were gonna get some PVC
Yeah.
tubes and roll it.
they're gonna do it.
We're gonna roll it all the way down the street.
Scared the heck out of them.
Yeah.
We win.
Right, yeah, it'd be fun. Yeah, so that's what's going on with the shed. So I think we're green light there. Matt has been at the garden a few times this week trying to figure out where the best place for the shed
I've
is,
seen his car over
staking out the field.
For the solar.
Yep.
That was a kind of fly in the ointment to get the solar
Yeah.
panels, so they're functional.
We did have a meeting with all the prospective gardeners and the gardeners that had been there before. I forget which, it was one rainy Saturday we met here. So that was
Okay.
good.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of people this year.
Yeah.
So, Matt and I did talk about while we were down there, maybe we can do this with the crew, is I think we all agree that we just gotta make sure it doesn't turn into a mess down there. Like, I really wanna get we wanna get that shed down there so the tools can be kept in the shed and, you know, if fencing falls down, pick
Should
it
be
up.
picked up. Oh, I did talk to Gene Harrington at National Farmers Exchange, and he would be willing to do a composting talk. We didn't set a date yet, but we should open that to the public too, so
Nice.
that
Yeah,
people, probably a Saturday after 2:30. He closes the store at 2:30.
Cool. Joan, while you're there, anything on the Moores Falls sidewalk?
Well, a couple things. We haven't heard from New England Power, and I'm a little worried about that because we'd have to go around their poles, and I don't know how much digging needs to be done, but they don't like a lot of digging on the poles.
Yeah.
We need to hear from them. And the other thing is, if it's not paved, which it allegedly can't be paved, and it's just stone dust packed, it won't be plowed in the wintertime.
Yeah, agree. We'll have to figure that out. Matt was gonna have Reggie in, but he kicked it to next month, so maybe we should talk about that.
Yeah, definitely.
next month.
Okay.
definitely in his court, I'd say.
Yep. You good on all that stuff before?
Yep.
Harry, you wanna give a recap of the fishing Let's Go Fishing?
Well, the Let's Go Fishing program went well.
What
I
day
would've
was
liked
it?
to huh?
What day was it?
It was on the 19th of April,
Oh, okay.
and it was cool, and not as many kids showed up as I thought they would, but a lot of kids showed up with their parents, and we talked an hour and a half, went over safety and different things involving fishing. And the big hit was I have this giant hook, and everybody asked me what was that for, and I said, well, it's obvious, to catch blue whales. So, anyway,
Next show is at 9 PM.
so Matt was there, and he was extremely helpful. And we brought the kids down to Dara Pond, and lo and behold, they were catching fish.
Wow.
And
Huh.
I
Sunfish,
was, huh?
sunfish?
Yeah, sunfish. It didn't really, with kids, it doesn't make any difference.
Huh.
Fish is a fish.
My concern was that a week ago it was like, what, freezing at night, and I thought the water would be way too cold.
Yeah.
Don't play with Mother Nature.
Huh.
So the kids all had a good time. We had an, I'm gonna mispronounce this, an autistic
Yeah.
That's right.
boy who enjoyed himself, and he was no trouble. He listened, and he had a good time.
Good.
All in all, the program went very well.
Good.
Went so well that what I'm going to do is I'm going to coordinate
Uh-oh.
with
Is this a weekly thing?
no. Can't do it. I'm gonna coordinate with George for the ice fishing, and I'll probably have a class 1 or 2 weeks ahead of the ice fishing,
Yeah.
okay? I think it's extremely helpful. I know that, you know, you guys were out there showing them how to work the traps and stuff.
Yeah.
So this could take some of the pressure off, you know.
I was setting traps and I'd never even set a trap before.
Yeah, well, come to the class
Hit
and we'll
me in the
we'll
head,
review it. So, outside of that, it did go well.
All right.
Good.
Good
job,
deal.
Harry.
I am gonna get with the superintendent of Litchfield and talk to him and see if I can maybe get a classroom instead of using the hall. The hall worked out fine. In fact, we were able to cast in the hall because
Oh.
it's that big. So they were able
Good
to
point.
use the fishing rod.
And you're
You
right
could use
there.
those rubber, like the weighted things. Yeah.
It was a spin cast.
Ah.
It's a push button.
Yeah, Zebco,
Pardon?
Zebco,
That's what I use.
Yes.
202
yeah,
or something.
Yeah, something like that. But everything went well.
All right.
It was
That's,
good.
that's great. That's good to hear. Well, thanks for planning that. Everything I heard, went out over awesome. I went in there, I poked my head in. We were cleaning,
Oh, did you?
yeah, we were cleaning, the beach that day.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Because Judy helped me open up the hall,
Yeah.
which, and I sent a note to Chris Burns and saying thank you.
All right. Good deal. All right, that's all our old business. Look at this, Fred, we're moving right along. No slideshows. I'm sure we're gonna get one when we get back.
Oh,
That'd be from his vacation.
Yeah,
remote,
yeah.
remote location.
All right, down to other business, property checks and property maintenance. Anybody been out?
We had the cleanup, the
Oh,
roadside
yeah.
pickup,
George really let me have it on that one.
Yeah,
yeah.
we had the roadside we did the roadside cleanup.
So-
yeah, in the
Took
middle
it
of the
3
week.
sessions
Yeah.
to finish.
It rained out that day. I think I went, I don't know, the week later or something like that.
Yeah.
And I did the curve.
George and Matt and I,
And then these guys did all the rest of it.
and then Matt went back another day and
Yeah.
work
So there's
that.
19 bags
Nin-
total.
Yeah.
I forgot to send that in.
It was pretty heavy.
Yeah, there's a lot of
You
cans.
would never expect to see that much trash along that road.
Yes, yes, you do. There's a new can on the curve that I'd like to get, but you have to be real careful on the curve.
I saw that. It was like 2 days after I picked it up, or maybe a week after.
Trash, huh?
And there's a big one. It's a Smirnoff Schmack. They're orange.
That's what the topic was.
Yeah.
That's the key drink.
You gotta set up a camera, but I don't, just, I don't know, but, any other property checks? Anybody been out?
Oh, I went to the muster field. Now, do we not want people to park on the same side as the muster field because of packing it down? I mean, I did because it was traffic, but my car doesn't weigh anything.
I don't know. That's
No, I
something,
was there and somebody pulled in next to me, but it's kind of treacherous to cross 3A if it's busy,
yeah.
so I'd probably stay like that. And
I
there was a
park in there.
beer can on that side, and I forgot to go back, because I did a loop and I forgot to go back and get it. It's by the chair. I'll go back and get it.
Just for future thought, if we're thinking of letting parking over there, we probably should designate a specific area for,
Well, there's not a lot of it going on. parking.
Yeah, I would. I
Well,
could
you don't
go
want
either
to-
way. It's like, I don't wanna post, I personally would say, let's not post park here. But let's
Okay.
not post, let's not park here, you know?
no, I
There's
understand
only
that.
one place that little rise that's in front of the kiosk and people, I think, don't want to go over where it's a little lower. They
Yeah.
shouldn't, because the foundation's there.
You know,
So I think it's all right.
just kinda keep an eye on it and see
Yeah.
what's happening.
I went to the community garden and walked around Parker Park. Everything looks really nice there. The bridges are still there, which is good. Survived the winter. I took a quick check at the muster field as well. Actually, took more than that. Went up top and went around it a few times. There's like a lot of trees, limbs down that we
Yeah.
gotta clean up, but we'll figure that out. I pulled into Moores Falls. I didn't walk down, but there was no trash up top, which is good.
Yeah, it's been hit pretty heavy, hikers, trail riders.
Actually, yeah, I mean, I've gone past it maybe about 10 times, and really haven't seen,
Well, on the nice days and the weekends, you see.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe activity will pick up.
All right, moving on to member input. Anybody got anything?
Yes, I would like to do a bird walk, June 7th, 8 AM at Morris Falls, if the PR committee would give me a
Kind of walk.
bird
Oh.
walk.
June 7th?
June 7th is Saturday. Hopefully there's not another walk going on. You have to go early, though, like 8 o'clock. Even earlier would be better, but
If you could send like an email out on that and just, I'll remember to like create a post
okay,
in different spots.
alrighty.
Anything else, Joan?
No, I don't have anything.
Harry?
Other than when, over at Let's Go Fishing, we talked to, some parents that appear to be interested in becoming alternates. And,
That's right, we were Matt was expecting that a couple of people were gonna show up tonight.
yes, and I was expecting the same people that we talked to. And,
Get them next month.
well, hopefully.
I know that one person did submit an application, like online.
Oh, they did?
And they have to submit an application online, and then that gets forwarded to the chair.
Well, these people, it was a husband and wife, and I guess the wife is a kindergarten teacher over at, you know, yeah, school.
CMS.
And they said they wanted to, at least one of them was gonna show up tonight to see, because they've heard nothing but good reports about us.
We got the A-team of Fred and George.
And, you know, that we're quite active. And, that was a good thing, and
Yep.
we'll see, you know.
I offered George, my membership, and I would be an alternate, he could be the secretary, and he said, no, thanks.
Okay.
Oh, one other thing, on UNH, I'm gonna submit another list next month and see what people are interested in.
Do you have a selection
Yeah.
available?
Well, it is available, and, so I'll send it around to you
Yeah.
guys and take a look at it and see
Good idea.
what you think. And like I said, I'll work with the school as far as let's go fishing. But that'll be ice fishing thing. And hopefully we have ice this year.
All right. Yeah, that was good.
Yes,
Anything else, Harry?
not that I can think of.
Anything from you, Fred?
Just, gonna concentrate, Georgia and I kinda have a plan, well, George's plan and I'm involved with him. And, on the fishing derby, so we've got quite a few subtasks to do. Cleaning up, the stream itself in places. There's limbs that are hanging out over the water and trying to cut those limbs on a dead tree and stuff like that. Kind of clean it up. So the
Yeah, but
kids
what will
don't,
the kids have fun hooking the trees?
yeah. Pull them in. So we're concentrating on the spring fishing derby, pretty much, for the first couple weeks of May anyway.
Sounds good. Matt and I will help out too.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't have anything at all. I think next month we'll probably have a pretty big meeting with Reggie being here. We'll bring in our intern in here. Joe, maybe next week I'll just talk to you, connect to you about the intern and get the map out, and we can meet with her here just to do an introduction, and then we can go from there.
Alrighty.
I forgot to mention something about the intern, and one of you guys had mentioned about a report or something. After the internship is over, if we get enough information and it happens to be as successful as I'm hoping it's gonna be, we would probably wanna do something down at the fire station. So the New Hampshire Association of Conservation Commission members, they had a phone call with the interns, and I had to get on the phone call, and Barbara from the New Hampshire NHACC had said that she would like that after the internships are done to have some sort of public meeting, and even if they don't attend, she's like, invite other conservation commissions to it, and just, kind of do a synopsis of the
That
program.
would be sometime in the fall then, right?
Yeah.
Probably early fall. Is she in school the Arlington?
Is she in school?
Is she a college student or?
Yes, yep. Currently in school right now. I think she's a junior. I have nothing else. Approval of meeting minutes? Uh-oh. We thought
think-
we had it.
I think Matt made some of these. Are you ready? Oh, welcome.
And for the record, Mr. Croto showed up at 6:59 PM.
And counting.
Yep.
Do you have a copy of the minutes on your laptop?
Yes.
Because I think he made some of these corrections. name corrections at least.
We're almost at the end.
Okay, well, it's the best part, right?
Go ahead, Joan.
Okay, page one. On the third line, it should say owner Ray DeRocha, not just Ray. Did you get that?
Third line, managed by Albert Farms, they have been farming. It does say,
Ray
with
DeRocha.
property owner Ray DeRocher.
Okay, and then the last sentence, next to the last sentence, it said, they utilize both sides of the DeRocher property with hayfields and cornfields extending to the condominium area? What?
When you say the last of the minutes, all the way down the bottom?
The first page.
Okay.
It says, the sentence begins, they utilize both sides of the DeRocher property with hayfields and, oh, this was Mr. Hool talking, and cornfields extending to the condominium area. There's no condominium area.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
I think we should just exit on extending to the take that out, extending to the
Well,
condominium.
wasn't he talking about when he was making his turn, that sometimes he would go over the line?
Yeah, but there's no unless he's talking about the north end.
I think that Matt got mixed up with the locations. I think because the guy that was here talked first about where he's farming at DeRocher, and then second about where he's farming behind the condominiums.
Yeah,
North
yes,
Litchfield?
Yeah, Reggie's property.
Reggie's. That field, I think.
Okay,
He
so,
was using that as a point.
yeah, that's,
So let's, Matt, if you're listening, if you wouldn't mind taking a look at that Alvern Farm discussion and maybe cleaning that up, because I think there's just a disconnect there.
okay. Okay, on page two, the third paragraph from the bottom. It says, Ms. McKibben reported nesting success on private property along Albuquerque Avenue where a rare wood turtle was sighted in June, comma, should add, many years ago, because it wasn't recent at all. And then I think he may have got the spelling on this, page three. Third paragraph, first sentence, Josh, I don't know how to say his name. He has M-A-G-U-S, it's M-E-G-Y-E-S-Y for his last name. A turtle biologist, it finishes.
Sorry, Joan,
Third paragraph on page three.
I think that the paging got messed up because
Yeah.
he was editing it. What does the paragraph begin with?
The presentation concluded with action items.
Okay, so what it says is the presentation concluded with action items including contacting Scott Rolfe,
Yeah,
State Forester, and Josh, M-E-G-Y-E-S-Y.
okay, he got that one, okay. That was a correction, okay. On spring cleanup, section F, it doesn't really matter. Do you want to add, we'll meet at Old Town Hall? He just so says we'll meet at Town Hall for coordination. That doesn't really make that much difference at this point.
Old Town Hall is in here.
Oh, you put in Old?
Yep.
Now, town administrator was saying he shouldn't really correct it until we agree on it in the meeting, except for, I guess, name corrections you can make. Under C, I have page 7. Oh, this is, under C, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th paragraph, it starts regarding Eversource.
Yeah,
Okay, that, regarding Eversource, parens, formerly North New England Grid, that whole thing should come out. It's New England Power.
it's
Either,
National Grid.
well, I thought it was National Grid, but I just got a butter paperwork today that they're calling it New England Power. So it's either National Grid or New England Power.
The
Maybe
emails that I.
That's why you're not getting an answer.
Yeah. I have a real email. I have talked to them before.
I thought it was National Grid.
Hold on just a second. I am talking to National Grid. So that is,
Well, you don't know their what city they're in?
excuse me, I don't,
What city that they're in?
it doesn't say.
Because I got a butter labels today that say New England Power and Waltham, so. I don't know.
I have his,
Leftover labels.
got a,
Can't give you leftover labels. All right. I'll check the assessing system, but as far as we know, I thought it was National Grid also. It's not Eversource, that's for sure. So we probably could put National Grid or New England Power.
yeah, and I think maybe during the discussion, someone might have said Eversource,
Well, yeah, I'm sure, because we always think
And it's
Power line,
actually-
Eversource.
National Grid, so I don't know what happens there, you know, the minutes are the minutes of what people said. Do you put in a parentheses that,
So.
Well, it's really-
Does Eversource exist anymore?
Yeah,
or
they,
is it-
oh yeah, they exist.
Okay.
yeah,
But that's a
National-
power line that comes from Canada.
National Grid is the big power line
Yeah.
that
Okay.
goes through.
So I guess in parentheses, you should put National Grid.
Are, anything else?
I just wanted road put in the Cutler property, but that's not a biggie either, Cutler Road. And, oh, under member input D, there's a duplication of a paragraph on member input, that paragraph is the same paragraph as, not the next up, but the next up, that paragraph's repeated twice. Same wording.
Which one?
First, it's on the second, well, I don't know what page, I'm on page 10. Ms. McKibben also reminded the commission of their obligation under RSA 36A, and that same wording is under member input, under my name. That paragraph's there twice.
Okay, I see that under member input, and then where did you say
Then-
the second version was?
Right above that is Mr. Manziki, and then above that is Ms. McKibben. Maybe he took that out already, I don't know.
You are right.
He took it out?
Nope, he's got it duplicated.
Duplicated, right.
So, Matt, on page 10, what would need to be cleaned up is,
Second paragraph.
yep, the paragraph that starts with Ms. McKibben also reminded the commission of their obligation, ... That paragraph is duplicated under member input A, so it needs to be stricken. I don't think you said the exact same thing twice.
I
Could
hope
have.
not. I hope I didn't. And then under Jason Brennan, D, Mr. Brennan remarked on a recent call or email from the New Hampshire DES, it says, but I think it should, wasn't it a call from NHACC? He shared the representative from New Hampshire DES praised the commission's.
Nope, that is correct.
It was from DES?
Yep,
Okay.
Yep.
And the last one, but not least, the next to the last paragraph, additional items stored in the shed such as bathhouse, should be bathhouse.
it does say bathhouse. It is
And
Bat House instead of Bathhouse, is,
I'm sure they didn't say bathhouse, whoever it was, George.
Yeah, he's
Oh, we-
not here to defend him, so.
we get a lot more visitors at the parks.
That's it. Is that enough?
Are we good to,
Approve as amended?
approve as amended? Are you good with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Make a motion that we accept the,
Amend,
was it April
April 3rd,
3rd meetings with
as amended.
the appropriate corrections as stated.
We have a motion by Mr.
I second
Menzikian.
it.
We've got a second by Fred. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 500. All right, that was a struggle.
That's the longest part of the meeting.
Mr. Croto, we are going to adjourn in a second. Is there anything that you have?
I actually do have something. Just give me 1 second.
Have you ever seen harlequin ducks? Have you ever seen harlequin ducks? Gorgeous.
While you're doing that, I'll do the
Aren't you?
rest of the
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
Go ahead.
Our next meeting is June 5th, 2025. The fishing derby is May 17th.
Oh, go ahead. No, finish what you,
God, now we're all looking on our phones. George.
we got the email, I'm sorry, Mike.
No, go ahead.
We got the email from Penachuk that was doing that, water across the river.
Oh, yeah.
Is that anything that we need to look at, or?
I'm looking over at Joan. Is there any wetlands, if there's any wetlands impacts or,
Yeah, there is, the big one when they turn off of 3A and go across. That's, wait a minute, that's the gas line.
I would expect, Harry, that if there's any impacts on that process, that'll trigger us to
Okay,
get a review.
well, because they said it was going through unforested, no, was it unforested? area?
Forested wetland, probably.
Yeah, anyway, so there's nothing that we,
Well, Liberty should be coming in here. They came to the planning board, and, I know Letho Riley
Liberty?
had a lot of questions. They should be coming to Conservation Commission.
Mr. Croto, you good?
I am good.
Okay.
So I just want to share with you a couple of things. As you recall from the last meeting, we had the turtle people here. I got an email from Steve Crawford on the 25th of April. I finally caught up with Josh, our turtle biologist, contact New Hampshire Fish and Game this morning. Asked him to help prioritize available sites which landowners have offered to us this year in the event that we were able to procure the resources to cover the projects in May. Couple of options, one in Barrington and one in Litchfield that rose to the top. The Litchfield site is state forest, so I contacted the state forester, the Department of Natural and Cultural Resources, responsible for that property. He was receptive, had several questions which they were able to answer with Josh's help. Then advised there will be a department review process, so initiate with emails to the department leadership to gauge their interest. My sense is the best case scenario. This will delay availability of that site until after October 15th, post-hatch for this season's eggs, so we do not disturb nesting activity. And then a recent email, this was on April 30th. I'll be meeting with Scott, the forester, and Josh, fish and game biologist, to do a site walk in Litchfield on May 13th. Still a slim chance we might be able to do something before Memorial Day if funds are available. So, just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. So,
The only thing, in trouble with that site is that it's, it's pretty populated in there. People going by, so I
We could
wonder,
just take it out, though.
yeah,
What do you think?
and it's not really near water.
It's wet, but
Well,
it's
What, the
marshy.
state
further
forest?
on. Well, they were talking about the piece, the landing, the wood landing,
Yeah,
right at the beginning.
it's not too far from a marshy area on the right.
Mm.
It floods in the spring.
Well, actually, over towards, Brenton Street, yeah, that's
Yeah.
even closer, yeah. It happens.
All right, folks, so, anything else from the commission? We don't have a non-public tonight, so we're good to go, so I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
We got a motion by Harry.
Second.
We got a second by Fred. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 7500. See you next month, Litchfield.
This is a record.
Going to North Conway.
Well, that's fun.